So today I'm going to talk about discernment. I describe discernment as a way of knowing something without a person telling you, or a way of knowing something without having all the information. So discernment comes from the Holy Spirit. It doesn't come from our ancestors. It doesn't come out the sky. It doesn't come from our higher selves. It comes from the Holy Spirit. Discernment can save your life. Discernment can also prevent you from making disastrous decisions, whether it's regarding your finances, your relationships, etc. I'm going to give you a few examples of how you can tell if the Holy Spirit is trying to guide you and give you discernment about a particular situation. So one example of discernment is it can be a download of information. It can be a lot of information or just maybe a sentence or maybe a phrase. So for example, when I started my job years ago, there was this particular coworker that I sensed didn't like me. So I noticed that she would, make these little comments and would just say things and put me down. And so I never understood what her problem was. But I just would try to not engage with her, or just, maybe keep it at good morning or something like that. But, when you're around somebody like that, you really don't want to engage with them at all. So there was this one day when we had training, and she was walking into the room, and I heard the Holy Spirit say, "She's jealous of you." And that kind of threw me, because I thought, why would she be jealous of me? Not that I'm some arrogant person and I think I'm all that in a bag of chips and everybody's just, hating, but it was just a sentence that just came out of nowhere. So I really believe that was the Holy Spirit just letting me know what was going on, because I never understood, why this person just seemed to be so nasty. So my second example about discernment is that it can be a funny feeling. So maybe you'll feel uncomfortable or uneasy when you're around a certain person. So another example that I have, when I was in grammar school, elementary school, I noticed that, and I was a child, so it's just, when I think about it now, it's amazing how the Holy Spirit was helping me back then. So I was in elementary school. I noticed that there was this janitor that would always look at me, and I felt, kind of uneasy. And then I guess I brushed it off, maybe not really thinking nothing of it. So there was this one day when my mother, she was late picking me up from school, because she would always walk me to school. She would always pick me up as well. So one day she was late, and I was standing out there waiting for her, but we didn't have cell phones back then, so I didn't know what was going on. So I saw the janitor, the same janitor that had been watching me, and I saw him come outside, peek. He was peeking around the door, and I think this thought came to me, or this feeling. It was either a thought or a feeling to leave, to get off the school grounds, because it was just this feeling that maybe he was going to try to, do something to me, or something not good. So as soon as that feeling or thought came to me, I got out of there. I just started walking home with the other kids, and I made it home, and, my mom came home and told me what happened, that she missed the bus. So, but thank God, because when you think about the different stories out there about, people doing things to kids, it's frightening, it's alarming. So I just thank God for giving me that feeling to just leave. So another example of discernment, sometimes God will just flat out tell you to not deal with a certain person, or maybe not to go here, or maybe, not to do this or not to do that. So in this example, a few years ago, there was a church that I was attending, and the people seemed nice. I noticed that there was this pastor and the young lady that befriended me. Whenever I looked at them, I just had this funny feeling. I didn't know why. I didn't know what it was. I couldn't even put my finger on it. So one evening, they invited me to the pastor's house, I guess to get to know me or whatever. And as I was driving there that night, this thought came to me, like, the young lady that befriended you is going to be there. And I thought, why would she be there? Because from my understanding, I thought it was going to be just me and the pastor and his wife. And sure enough, when I pulled up to the house, the young lady was there. I recognized her car. And, you know, we had dinner. It was nice. But I remember the pastor asking me a weird question. He was, you know, they were asking me questions trying to get to know me. But he asked, so when you take days off of work, does it come out of your paycheck? And I thought, I think I said no, but that was a strange question to ask. Why would you ask somebody that? And so that, you know, led me to think, okay, something's not right. So the Lord started telling me other things, you know, and then I just made the decision to not, you know, attend that church anymore. So I really feel like he saved me from a lot of, you know, problems that I didn't need in my life. Those are just some brief examples of my experience with discernment. So it may be different for you. Maybe you won't even experience those 3 signs: the funny feeling, the download of information, or the Lord just telling you flat out. And you might experience discernment in other ways. Probably do a part 2, maybe just to offer some insight. I don't know. Hope this video was helpful. Remember that the Lord is always with you. He's always guiding you. He's always protecting you.